Hey guys, welcome to our little power rankings thing for SPPL Season 4. Thank you to all the coaches who are participating this season. Big shout outs to all the new coaches, like Goblin, Thanksgiving, we got Fade, Emdra, YTS Blue. God, there's so many of you. I'm still trying to remember all of you guys. Zalos Marco, um, Goblin. There we go, Goblin. Got you guys. So yeah, quite a few new people. And we also have quite a few returning coaches. Big shout out to Vixen and Healy and Amp as well for being coaches from season one that are still playing with us, which is awesome. Um, so big shout out to you guys and to all of you in general for making this happen, and for sticking out for the draft and hopefully for the rest of the season. It's going to be a 6-week season, so pretty short, not including playoffs. So we're going to talk about the teams here, do a little informal power rankings. I will not start with my team that we drafted with Storm. So let's start with Justin Hex's team, L2P Lanturn. If you guys don't know what I'm using Ballhawk's Battle Planner. This thing is awesome. Um, It's got so much information packed in here, and it's just good to see everyone's teams. So the fact you guys got Mew, Mega Diancie is like really stupid. um, but what's it called? I mean, I guess I don't know. I feel like Mew is all right here. You got a good amount of stealth rockers. It's probably just gonna be Heatran every week. I don't see you guys bringing Sandslash too often. Although it's not a bad ground type for this team because Zeraora has Volts Absorb. Um, so I guess that works. You can do pretty much anything it wants to. You got um, some pivot, real booms or aura, even whatnot, baton pass. So that's good. Got lots of knockoff. Holy crap, that's a crap ton of knockoff users. Um, Typing wise, yeah, this ground weakness is not too big of a problem because of grassy terrain Rillaboom. That being said, though, if they just don't run Earthquake, it's very spammable versus this team. Sigil being your only immunity, I mean, Rillaboom is still good though. Yeah, this wouldn't work without Rillaboom. Ice Weakness is fine, I guess. Alamola Heatran is going to cover that. So overall, you covered your type charts well. You got good speed tiers as well. Um, yeah, I mean, there's kind of a gap between Mega Diancie and Zeraora, but there's not too many like 120, 130 Pokemon that people drafted this season, so it's not all too bad. Immediate physical offense, of course, you got that. Special offense. Um, Special offense, yeah. PZ and Mega Diancie covers you. You definitely have, ooh, actually hazard removal. That was kind of a yikes, actually. Defog, Sigilith, and Mew. I don't think Sigilith is good enough to warrant coming every single week with Defog. Mew running Defog is an absolute travesty. And I guess you have spin users with Chan and Sandslash, but they're not really good Pokemon respectively. Like, you don't have a good hazard remover in like your top 6, 7 Mons, which is maybe an issue. You do minimally have 2 hazard removals, which is good, but I would have liked to seen a better, more consistent defogger. Grounded Poison, you've got that, and a T-Spike setter, which is really nice. Minimum 3 hazard setters. You guys are good on hazards. Lots of good stuff. Um, Fire, Water, Grass Core. You do have it. I'm not a big fan of Alamola on this team. You don't have too much pivot, but like you do have it, right? Zero or Rillaboom, and if you run something on Mew, I feel like Alamola is kind of like a momentum sink on this team in particular. Um, like I guess you just wish and regen out into like Tran or Rillaboom to sponge a hit. Um, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of like Alamola and Audino. I just don't like them that much. Um, like if you had a bulkier team, like I could see it, but like these first 4 picks are pretty offensive, and Heatran can be offensive as well. It's not bad though. Like Alamola is still a good Pokemon. You know, it's not like you guys drafted Barboach or like Whiscash or something. So, Fairy Dragon Steel, no Dragon, which is totally fine. But both of them are weak to ground. Like I know you have Rillaboom, but it's kind of exploitable, perhaps. And I mean, we'll see. Like it's fine, right? Mega Diancie, Heatran. It's like, what's the worst that can happen? You have good Steel Resist from Mega Diancie as well, which kind of goes into defensive wall that checks offense's weaknesses. So that works pretty well. Again, I'm just really worried about that ground weakness. Like Rillaboom, is it gonna be enough, right? Like if your opponent kills Rillaboom, you're screwed. Like no ground resist outside of Rillaboom. Your immunity's kind of not great. Heal Cleric support, yes. Alamomola does that pretty well. And your speed tiers are intact, I would say. Minimum one setup threat, yeah, PZ. PZ, Sigilith 2 with Calm Mind and like Wonder Guard. Or not Wonder Guard, Magic Guard with like what stored power, right? Isn't it like a common sweeping set? Overall, this is a pretty good draft, I think. I'm just super worried about the ground spam versus this team. Like, yeah, you have Rillaboom. Like, what are you guys gonna do against our Mamoswine? Or anything that runs high horsepower? Because the damage from those moves isn't reduced by grassy terrain. It's only Earthquake and Earth Power. Maybe Dig? I'm not quite sure. Um, but it's not every ground type move, so definitely be careful of that for sure. I don't know what you guys would do to fix it. I really don't. Um, like maybe Skarmory, and like you get another fighting a fire type, like another fire type. I'm not sure. It's a good team though. I like it. I will be putting all these in order here, but I'll do that at the end, I think. So next up we have Teleport Veszprem, coached by Morvai and Laventi. They've been here since season 2, so thank you guys. Same thing for Justin and Hex. You guys have been here since season 2 as well, so big shout outs to that for that. Your guys' team, very scary. Um, yeah, like Dracovish, this googly-eyed bastard. Not many teams are gonna have good switch-ins for it. And I feel like you support it well. Victini, Mega Scizor puts a lot of pressure on water and grass types that Dracovish doesn't really like. And you can just U-turn endlessly between these two into Vish. And then you got Blissey and Raikou, which is interesting. Um, the one thing I will say is that your fire resist is Gigalith, which is good. Um, it just might be a little, I don't know. Actually, no. Now that I say that, it's fine. You have Victini, Gigalith. Yeah, you guys are totally okay. Fighting weakness seems pretty bad. I mean, you have Wheezing and Victini. Um, I guess because of Silvally too. Fighting weakness is totally fine. You don't really have good water answers. Like physical water types, kind of an issue, actually. Off the top of my head, oh, what's it called? Crawdont? Crawdont goes in. And I'm pretty sure it got drafted. Let me see. Yeah, Crawdont, taken by Hiding Heracross, has a good matchup here. Um, Maybe that's something to consider. Like, but I don't think he'd ever run Water Absorb Dracovish. I know in chat I kind of dunked on Sandrush uh, Dracovish, but I still stand by the fact that Strongjaw is just too damn good. Like, it's just a free choice band on Fish's Friend, which is very powerful. But if teams try to revenge kill Dracovish, or have a good way to revenge kill it, Sandstream with Gigalith and Sandrush on Dracovish is a good way to get past that. And your speed tiers are fine. 115, 100, like that's the bare minimum. But Vish can boost past that. And you have good Scarfers too. Victini's a good Scarfer. Pingro's a slow Scarfer. Silvally can't be Scarfed. Actually can, but it wouldn't be good. Immediate physical offense, you definitely have that. Victini's good. Vish is good. Your special offense, it's it's fine. Um, but it's kind of lacking. Raikou is strong, but 115 isn't like scary. You know what I mean? It really likes Calm Minds and stuff. Victini is kind of weak. You have to run like Specs or Life Orb. And it's only base 100. It's not like a Latios, right? Or like a Gengar level special attack. So I'd say like that's the main thing. It's like mostly physical attackers, right? Scizor, Vish, Victini's V creates always a problem. Pangoro. I really like Pangoro though. Really like it. Uh, because you have a good fairy switch in Victini and Scizor, which Pangoro hates them, hates them. So I do like that. I like Pangoro. Um, Min ha two hazard removers. Scizor, Weezing, Articuno, Silvally. So yes, that's pretty good. You got decent rockers. Not the best, but like you'll find something um to set them up. Like between Blissey and Gigalith, I guess, and Palisand, like you guys are fine. Firewater Grass Core. Um, no grass type on this team. Um, but like that's fine. You have a 4 times water resist here. Your steel type isn't weak, and you have some good immunities, right? Wheezing. Ground can kind of be an issue, right? Maybe you don't want to bring Levitate, Galarian Wheezing, so um, just watch out for that, I would say. But I don't think it's a big issue on this team in particular. And the fighting weakness is kind of arbitrary. You're not going to be bringing Silvally normal, like ever, when you have Blissey. And Palisand is a good immunity, so that's okay. You don't have that though. FDS core, yeah, um, you got it. So, I think it works. I think it works. Minimum setup threat, yeah, you have a few. Calm Mind Raikou is scary. Sword Stance Mega Scizor is very scary. Defensive walls that check offense's weaknesses. Yep, Drakevish gets revenged by fast fairies and dragons. Scizor covers that perfectly. Again, I really like these first three. These first three are scary as hell. Everything else kind of seems weird, but it's enough. Like, it's complementary enough to work with everything. Um, that I like it. Heal Cleric support, yes, you have that with Blissey. Your speed tiers, I'm gonna say they're intact. Um, you really want to see at least a base 115 Pokemon, which you guys were able to get, and you have good Scarfers between Victini and Vish. So overall, I'd say this is a pretty solid squad. Very scary. I think the first three are really good. I think overall, though, I'd say L2P Lanturn have a better overall draft. Like again, you guys have quite a few big weaknesses, like ground and fighting in particular on this team. This team also kind of has a ground weakness. Not like a weakness, but you don't have a solid resist. So, like Banded Mammo is a problem for this team if you don't bring Levitate Weezing, right? And I know Storm and I drafted Mammo, but like that's just something to keep in mind, I guess. Next up, High Jump Miss, coached by Nolive and Emolga. I really like this team. This team seems like something I would probably want to draft if I was playing by myself. Um, I love it. It's fat, but it's also kind of strong at the same time. Sort of. Like it's sort of strong. Like you have a lot of fat, right? Core Megavinu is classic pairing as of Gen 8. Clefable is nasty, Arcanine even nastier. Like these four, man. Like I can't believe you have this fat. It's so good. And the great thing about this is that none of these are super passive. Arcanine can go offensive and put on pressure with its good coverage, and it has a really nice speed tier as well, 95, which you didn't really need with Urshifu Rapid Strike, but like I feel like you guys drafted this more for defensive purposes. Clefable is a setup threat, very good setup threat. Mega Venusaur is just annoying. It's got good special attack. So like when I draft, like when you want bulk on your team, this is the kind of bulk I want and not Alamomola, right? Um, so yeah, I definitely really like this. And you guys got good speed tiers as well, 115 to top it off. You got great Scarfers. You have priority with E-Speed and Aqua Jet. Gligar is super clutch on this team, I feel, because you're gonna want to run rocks on this every week. Initially, when like you guys were going through the draft, big red flag for me was that like Clef was the only thing that had stealth rocks on the team, and Clefable does not want to run stealth rocks every week. You like mixing it up a bit, right? It's got great coverage. great setup potential and can run some really cool niche sets. So Gligar is definitely like super clutch on this team. And I do have to say that Zoroark was a genius pick. Look at all these Pokemon that learn U-turn, and you have a Zoroark that also learns U-turn, right? It's just really good. Zoroark also gets Sludge Bomb, which Mega Venusaur gets Sludge Bomb, right? Arcanine gets Flamethrower. Zoroark gets Flamethrower. Um, I think does Zoroark get Thunderbolt? I want to see because the big thing with Zoroark is being able to pair it with Pokemon that also learn the same moves that it learns. I guess yeah, Flamethrower, Grass Knot are both things that Clefable also learns. Let's see for knockoff support. Oh yeah, you've got knockoff on a bunch of things too. I really liked Zoroark when you guys picked it. It's such a good pick on this team in specifically. Um, right? Like, imagine you disguise it as Urshifu Rapid Strike, and people are going to bring in their bulky water, or their grass type, and you click Sludge Bomb or Flamethrower, or you turn out and they don't know if it's Urshifu Rapid Strike, right? They just wouldn't know. Um, I love it. Zoroark paired with this, oh, I'm jealous. I wish I had this team personally. I really like this team. I'm gonna rate it pretty highly. Um, but there is one thing that I think I need to address, and that's the fact these two picks, I don't like them at all. Like, I love Girder, guys. Like, Storm and I drafted it so many times, and I've drafted it so many times outside of drafting it with Storm. But I really think Sirfetch'd was maybe better on this team. Like, this team's kind of weak. You have some good fat, right? And you have setup threats. But Urshifu, hits what, 130 attack, Zoroark's 120. Like, you have okay, like, immediate physical and special offense, but it's not great. Um, I think a lot of like the power of this team is being able to disguise Zoroark, and you just chipping down their team with these four plus Gligar. Um, but yeah, I really like this team. Your stat totals are kind of like it says it's weird and bad, but I don't know. Speed tiers are fine in my opinion. Um, oh, and you guys have sticky webs too. Like how? How? And Galvantula destroys regen cores that are Shifu hates. God, I love this draft. I seriously like props to you guys. You guys always draft something cool. So, um, yeah, I rate this one pretty highly. Weakness department wise, this isn't a problem because you have Venusaur, flying, you have a Corviknight, Zapdos I guess is an issue. Um, Psychic's fine. Rock, you have a Girder, you have Urshifu, like you have a good solid high tier fighting, so it's okay. Fairy is a non-issue. Like a lot of this stuff is weak. You have a Venusaur and a Corviknight. You guys are good. Um, these two, no, no, I'm not gonna check them off. Minimum 2 hazard removal. Yes, you definitely have more than that. You've got the ground poison. Hazard setters, you don't, but it's fine. Fire, water, grass is great. You have an offensive and defensive one. FDS, technically you don't have one, but Mega Venu or Clefable Corv is fantastic. You don't need the dragon. The dragon is optional. You definitely have setup threats in Clefable, in Urshifu as well, I guess. Corviknight can also do it, but Um, yes, defensive walls that check offense's weaknesses. Mega Venusaur plus Urshifu's pretty nice combo. You have Keel and Cleric support, and your speed tiers are pretty good. Yeah, your speed tiers are fine. The one thing I will say though that's a little lost for me on this team in particular is Starmie. I just don't ever see why you would bring Starmie. Right? There's just not inherently as much potential with Zoroark. I guess it's there for the speed tier. What's Starmie's point total? Maybe we can find something for you guys. 13 points. I remember 13 points had a lot of good stuff, like Azelf, or Greninja. Yeah, like I like Starmie, but it just seems kind of lost on on this team for me. And you have enough defoggers where the rapid spin isn't too valuable. So good job on this draft, guys. I think I spent a little too much time on this one. Next up we have Cloysmunster. coached by Emdra and YTS Blue, right? I hope I got that right. Yes, yes, I did. See, I'm starting to remember your guys' name now. Um, so you guys are new, and I really like this team. I like it too. It's it's just an odd-looking team, which I think is why I like it. Um, you guys got good hazard setters. Your removal though is absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. You're lucky that most people didn't really draft Spikes. I don't think Spikes got drafted too much. Um, like Empoleon is your only defogger is kind of sus. Claydol's not a good Pokemon, um, from what I've heard at least. Um, but I guess Claydol makes sense on a team with Zygarde. Like you're not gonna be bringing Claydol every week, so no Rapid's been there. I just like the one thing that I didn't like about this draft was the Mega Main pick. Um, I don't like it. I don't. Um, like it kind of gets walled by the same thing Zygarde gets walled by, mainly grass types. And I guess you can overheat, but I don't know. Maybe it'll work. I think it might work. Like Intimidate is good. Um, and Zygarde plus Empoleon, they cover each other pretty well. Um, Amoonguss is really nice with Empoleon, um, being a fighting resist. T-Tar is weird. I don't know. This team is just kind of odd. It's odd, but I like it for some reason. Weezing's cool. Oh, Weezing gets defog, doesn't it? Pretty sure Weezing gets defog. It does not. Wow, so it is only Galarian Weezing. Um, God, how do we even break that down? I like Marowak for Anti-Trick Room, which was drafted by yours truly. Oh, last pick Sylveon is such a flex pick. That was great too. For another fighting resist. Yeah, I mean, kind of fighting weak because of the T-Tar. Actually, no, not at all. You have Weezing and Mungus. Um, Double Dark. You have a, that's so weird. You have two 4 times weak fighting Pokemon. It's very odd. You don't see that all day. I'm trying to see like I don't know. This seems like a super odd team. Again, I've said that so much. But you do have immediate physical offense, right? Um, you have immediate special offense as well. With Keldeo and Sylveon. Megametric counts too, I guess. Um, your hazard removal is not the greatest, but it's there. You do have grounded poison. Not that it really matters too much. And Zygarde appreciates that for sure. Um, 3 hazard setters, yeah, you have that. Fire, water, grass. It's true. Um, you've got this as well. Empoleon Sylveon of Zygarde is pretty nice. Pretty nice. Do you have setup threats in Zygarde and Keldeo? Sylveon as well, I guess. And Empoleon plus Zygarde is a nice pairing. Heal Cleric support, you have that. Speed tiers, pretty good speed tiers. Um, I feel like anything within the 90 to like 70 range is going to exploit the fact that nobody cares about Claydol. So a lot of stuff might be able to go Adamant and Modest versus you, like I don't know, Mamoswine, which is kind of a problem for this team. Like you'd probably have to be Weezing as the answer. Um, almost makes you wonder why we drafted Mamo. So yeah, before we switch off, final thoughts is it's a very odd team, but it's got good Pokemon. Uh, it'll depend on how good you guys play, I think. Next up is Stuffuls in Paris, coached by Fade and Goblet. Yep, got that right. Got you guys right. Um, so just off the rip, Pult, Megalade, Mandibuzz is really strong. It's very strong. You always see Pult plus like Lade, Lop, or Terrakion, and for good reason. Megalade punishes the Steel and normal type Pokemon that people will bring for Pult. Mandibuzz covers the Dark and Ghost types that both of these hate. and you guys got a bunch of good flying resists for Mega Gallade, right? Melmetal, Raichu, Coco. Um, and then you even patched up the ground weakness, which before you guys took Tangela, ground spam looked really good, like really good versus you guys. But you still struggle versus the Nidos and Mamo on this team. It really comes down to like Melmetal being able to take a hit and like try and force a KO. Ditto's a little weird. Um, it's definitely a little weird. I don't really see why you would draft Ditto on this team. Like you have a very offensive draft, right? Coco, Raichu, Alola, Melmetal, Lade, Holt. Like these are just Pokemon that hit super hard and can set up and kind of force your opponent to attack into them, and play more aggressively to not let you set up. And I just don't see, right, like scenarios where your opponent's going to be like, yep, I'm going to be able to set up, three Calm Minds. And it's like, okay, it's not going to happen versus a super strong team. I don't know. Ditto's always good, though. I feel like you just could have drafted something better than Ditto, is what I'm trying to say. Um, so that's where I'm at. Um, it's just kind of a standard cookie cutter team, you know, but that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Um, oh wow, you only have one ghost resist in Mandibuzz. That's that's not the worst. Maybe maybe a normal type, like some other normal type over Ditto would be good. Oh, and the other big thing that I don't like about this team is the fact that your only rocker is Sandaconda, which previously was zero because you guys had Quagsire. So I guess we can start going to the checklist here. You have offense, you have special offense as well. Um, Coco and Pult kind of fill both of these. But your hazard removal is Mandibuzz, which is fine, but you have one Stealth Rocker, which, yeah, you have some good wall breakers like Melmetal and Lade, which can really chip opponents' teams for Pult to sweep. But having rocks for Pult is pretty good, and Sandaconda coming every week isn't like super great IMO. Um, I don't know. Uh, yeah, I guess that's where I'm at. Or like you just need stealth rockers. Um, like at least one other one. You know what I mean? Just like one more. Like if this Ditto was like Miltank, how much points is Ditto? Um, I'm like giving all you guys advice, I guess. 5 points. Ooh, yeah, Miltank's way more expensive than that. Yeah, I feel like if this was a Miltank, like this would be fire. This would be fire if this was a Miltank. Um, I don't feel like you need Coco Raichu. I really don't. Your team's so fast already. But I guess Coco is like or Raichu is nice to catch like Scarfers that are coming to come for Pult. Um, so maybe not. Maybe it is okay. It's just like yeah, it's a very cookie cutter like fast offensive team. Um, and you have Vape, Melmetal. You have enough bulk to make it work. I like it. Lots of good knockoff users as well. Your speed tiers, yeah, they're very fast, very good speed tiers. You have this, yeah, you have setup threats for sure. Um, yeah, you have an FDS. Stuff like Garchomp though has a field day versus his team. Um, because Tangela is not good enough. Tangela, I feel like most grass types aren't good enough versus Chomp anymore, because there's no hidden power ice in the game. So yeah, I like this team, but I feel like High Jump Miss just overall drafted a better team in my opinion. I think that's where I'm at right now. Eskibros, Amp, and Bloody. You guys had first pick into Garchomp, which I like. Thank you for not picking Dragapult first overall. I'm sure Stuffuls really appreciated that. But yeah, Garchomp is probably my favorite Pokemon in the format currently, along with like Zapdos, Mawile, and Diancie. This thing is just so good, and with Scale Shot, man, it's gonna be nasty. I still have yet to see regular Chomp with Scale Shot in the league, so that's why we allowed it this season. Um, just as an FYI, in case you were wondering. Um, Great rocker. And outside of like these last three picks, I was really worried that your only stealth rocker was Garchomp, but you guys fixed that pretty well. Um, like I don't think any of these are coming every single week, but like Cobalion can definitely find itself on the team quite a bit with Stealth Rocks, Chansey as well. Like Regirock was a weird pick to me. You already had good fire resists. Like Chomp is a good one, Rotom's a good one. And like between those two, which Rotom and Garchomp are going to be coming to every single game, mark my words. Um, I don't feel like he needed Regirock, but I guess it's another option for specific things, maybe. I don't know what exactly you're trying to counter team with Regirock, but maybe it'll work out. Um, hazard removal is pretty nice. You know, you got Rotom, Serena. Um, they're both pretty reliable and good enough to come every week. You've got great physical offense. Your special offense is good as well with H slash, uh, Salazzle, and Pidge. Removal, yeah, we talked about that. Ground poison, you do have that as well. Doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, good clerics. Um, Rotom Wash is like Rotom Wash is gonna be like your main bulky pivot every single week, and like it doesn't care about spikes or T spikes, so who cares? Minimum three hazard setters, yes, you have that. Fire, water, grass, you do. It's kind of an odd one. It's a more offensive fire, water, grass core. Serena really likes to be offensive, I found. And the defensive sets are fine, but they're just not as good in my opinion. Your FDS is okay. Grimmsnarl is a good Pokemon. Um, Aegislash is a steel type. I've never used it. I hear lots of mixed feelings about it, so I'm kind of excited to see you guys try and use this. Um, Setup threats, you do kind of. Garchomp is pretty much it. But Rotom Wash can also nasty plot up and do shenanigans. Defensive walls that check offense's weaknesses. Chomp's weak to ice. These two resist ice off the rip. You got Cobalion as well for a secondary steal. So yeah, I like it. Speed tiers, good speed tiers. 121 to top it with 117. Yeah, pretty fast. Nothing here is super exploitable. Very good speed tiers. Probably the best so far. I guess maybe Stuffuls and Paris have it a bit better. But in terms of just like synergy between random mons, like Chomp plus Grimmsnarl screens seems ridiculous. To the point where I wish he had more setup threats, actually. Cobalion can kind of do a dual dance set pretty well. Rotom, Aegislash. Um, I really like Grimmsnarl on this team. Like, Reflect, Light Screen, and you can do Weakness Policy on Aegislash. You know, Weakness Policy on Garchomp. Like, there's so many options. This is going to be a very scary team to prep for because of Garchomp, Grimmsnarl. People are gonna. It's gonna be a headache for most people, I think. So good job on that. Um, and yeah, there's no glaring weaknesses on the type chart, which is good. Always good to see. Not requirement, but it's always good to see. Um, so moving on to the Blue Destroyers, coached by Thanksgiving Greninja and uh, Gobble. No, no Lizard. Blue Lizard. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I got you guys right. Yep. So, um, I like this team, but I also don't. I think your speed tiers are very nice, right? 145, 130, 113, 110. You know, you guys are looking pretty good. Maybe some like 120s can maybe outspeed Serp. I'm not exactly too sure, but nothing too exploitable. Um, and I just love uh, these first six picks. I love them. I love these first six. Rachi, Hydreigon, Togekiss, Rotom Heat, Swampert, Beedrill. Everything's got momentum, right? U-turn, Baton Pass, Volt Switch. You have two good hazard setters for rocks. Your only rockers, actually, which is kind of surprising, but like Swampert runs it every week, and Jirachi can also run it every week, and it'll be good in every game you bring it for the most part. You have Defog in these three as well. You have a good special breaker in Hydreigon, a setup threat with Nasty Plot and Dragon Dance. I just really like it, and so you've comboed all of that with Mega Beedrill, which wants really good hazard removal, which you have in these three picks. It also wants some reliable ground type switch-ins, which you have Rotom, Togekiss, and Hydreigon, and you have a good rock resistant Swampert and Jirachi. I really like these first six, and then everything after, I really really hate. Spectrier is cool. It's a nice Pokemon, but what do you have to break normal types and dark types? Like, I guess Togekiss, I guess, right, for dark types. But you have no fighting type on this team. None. And you have double normal, which I don't understand. I just, I don't understand it. You already also have a Wish Passer with Jirachi. Like, I really think Audino for, what was Audino, 4 points? You guys used all your points. I think Sock went undrafted, and Sock is like 4 points as well. Um, I'd probably drop Audino for Sock if it was my team. Because because then you're able to get rid of what's it called? To get rid of normal types. Like Spectrier plus that fighting type could make a nice offensive core, or maybe like Heracross or something like that. Right, Heracross in particular actually, I think would be pretty cool here. Break some of the dark types for Hydreigon as well. And then like um, Hydreigon plus Heracross pressures a lot of opponents' fairy types, and you have Rotom Heat plus Rachi. Mega Beedrill can also kill them. I just feel like this team really needs a good fighting type Pokemon, whether it's like a low tier Sock or something, which definitely could work, or something a bit more high tier. Like Superior, for example, it's got a nice speed tier for sure, which I think this team really appreciates. But you have two good immunities. I guess Swampert can sponge, and you have Hydreigon. Your team's not too weak to ground per se. Um, I just feel like these last four picks need to be worked on a little bit because right now Spectrier seems like absolute dead weight. Like for example, versus our team that we drafted with Storm, we bring Porygon 2. How are you breaking Porygon 2 on this team, right? I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot by giving everyone advice a little bit, but like seriously, how do you break Porygon 2? How do you break Chansey or Blissey? How do you do that? Yes, maybe Subseed Serp, but again, I don't see it. Um, Again, I really like the front half, and I would like Spectrier if the back half complemented it more. That's just me. You fix your speed tiers, which slow team, and then okay, you got three good speed options. Great. But now fill out these last three maybe. Or even Superior could even go. I don't know. Like maybe Mienshao. Mienshao is an option that's still available. That Storm and I were even looking at it. I don't know. Just some fighting type to pair with Spectre. And I think you guys are golden. Your speed tiers are good. You have a healer and a cleric. Your defensive walls complement Mega Beedrill and Hydreigon. You have some setup. You definitely have setup. Your FDS is amazing. Your Fire Water Grass Core is good. I'd want maybe a third rocker, but it's fine. Rachi and stuff is fine. So, grounded poison, not too big of a deal. Two hazard removal, you got plenty of that. You have good special offense. Um, and your physical offense, yeah, that's another thing. It's like I just make a Beedrill, but if you get a fighting type, this team will be scary. Get a good fighting type, or even just like a good low tier like Sock. I think it'll make a huge difference for this team, and it would just go up immediately in my eyes at least. Next up we have Girls and Chads. No, it's We Talked Girls by Vixen and Healy. You guys, I always love trying to figure out your guys' theme each season when you start drafting. It's it's very interesting, and I see Megalopony and Gardevoir, and it's like, oh boy, and then Buzzwole and Muck. Uh, yeah, there's definitely no rhyme or reason to this team. It's just kind of for fun, which I do appreciate. This definitely gets number one in terms of style, for sure. Like, you have Double Monkey. Double Monkey. which we're allowing, I guess. So that should be fun. You have double Lando. You guys should have gone double Muck. All right, drop what's it called? Drop one of these, maybe Frostlass or Vespiquen, and get double Muck. Just so you have double Muck, double Darm, okay, and then you have double of these genie-looking Pokemon. All right, and then it just goes A tier, right? Just oh, God. The funny thing is though, is that this team is actually like not horrible. Like I think you should get a water type maybe. Like Primarina would fit this the aesthetic of the chicks on the team. Um, I think that would do you a lot of good. But again, it doesn't matter. Like you guys are channeling the energy of girls and chads, and so for that, I have to rate this number one. I'm kidding. It's definitely not number one, guys. But seriously, I love the theme. We need a logo, by the way. You guys need a logo. Vixen, get on that, dude. Get on it. You always make fire logos, and we're missing one for this exquisite looking team. So please do that. It would be amazing. Um, Second to last, we have Hiding Heracross, two new coaches as well. Zalos, is that how you pronounce it? And Marco. I'm not sure. Not sure. Um, Zalaus or Zalos. I'm not sure. So you guys are new, and um, thank you for joining us. I just don't like this team though. I don't like it. Um, like, like just at a glance, um, your speed tiers are horrible. There's no fast Pokemon on here. Infernape, I guess, but like Scarfed Infernape, mm, you have Excadrill, sure, um, but just aside from the speed, I feel like so much on this team doesn't work for me. Specifically, Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini is the oddest Pokemon on this team because everything on the team hinges on Fini not dying. This is weak to ice. That's weak to fire. This is weak to ground, fire. This is weak to ice and dark types. This is weak to fighting types and water types. Excadrill is weak to fighting and fire and ground and all that sort of stuff. Oh, and all of that, like mostly Tapu Fini is kind of like a good sponge for that, right? So you have all these Pokemon weak to all these common typings, and your only good answer is like Fini, right? Like Excadrill, Decidueye, like there's just so much pressure put on this, especially because you don't have a good grass type. Like Decidueye is nice, but if you're gonna draft Decidueye, you better have a better option for a ground resist or immunity. Which this team's only immunity is Landorus, and who cares? They just click a Stone Edge. It's not gonna be able to tank many hits. Like yes, it's an immunity. Immunity is good, but is it a good immunity? Like if this was Zapdos and you had Decidueye, like okay, I could maybe see that, but you don't, right? Or if it was a Skarmory, but you don't. And yeah, your Steel type and Scizor isn't weak to it, but Infernape's weak, T-Tar's weak, Excadrill's weak, Electivire's weak, Dragalge's weak, and your only resistance is Decidueye. It's kind of not the greatest look. You've got lots of hazard setters and defoggers, like ways to remove hazards, and you've got plenty of U-turners for momentum. Like this team isn't horrible, but I'd really look into like patching up the ground weakness mostly. Fighting is a bit better, but any fighting coverage plus Earthquake is going to kind of wreck house. Again, I think Fini is super pressured on this team just because so many stuff is weak to things that Fini likes to sponge anyway. Um, I don't know, like you guys can definitely make it work. It's a very threatening team for sure. Sandforce, Landorus is cool, right? Pretty strong, although it's a weird first pick, by the way. I will say that. Excadrill is always threatening. T-Tar is a good Pokemon. Yeah, so just like a lot of weird stuff. I think Fini's super pressured, but it's just a very slow team in general as well. Like it'll work under Trick Room, but you have no Trick Room setters. Zero, none. Um, which only versus one team can you expect there to be Trick Room, which is ours with Storm. Um, and yeah, it's so odd, man. It's so odd. I don't know what I would change. You have too many overlapping types as well, in my opinion. Like double ground is fine, but Excadrill and Landorus are both offensive ground types. Excadrill can be defensive, but it's not even really that good at being defensive. You have double dark, double steel, both offensive steals. Regular Scizor is not that bulky. It's bulky, but you know, it's not Mega Scizor levels. I don't know. It's just such an odd team. Again, I don't know how to feel about it. No, I do know how to feel about it. I just don't like it. You have physical offense. You have special offense with Landorus and Dragalge. It's not the greatest. Your hazard removal, yeah, you have grounded poison for sure. Hazard setters. You've got your fire, water, grass. You have your dragon, your fairy, and your steel type. You have setup threats. You have all this stuff, but I just don't think it all works together. Oh, your speed tiers are definitely not intact, and you definitely don't have a cleric. Which you don't need a cleric. I guess Feeny kind of counts. Um, but yeah, these speed tiers are horrible. Like, okay, what's it called? The Stuffuls in Paris. They are going to bring Mega Gallade, uh, Coco, Alolan Raichu, and Dragapult, and they will run Modest or Adamant on all of them, and it won't matter. And your best way to deal with that will be Scarfed Infernape, right? And they just bring defensive Vaporeon, and then Scarfed Infernape does nothing. Like this team needs a lot of work, in my opinion. Um, like just a lot. I really don't like it. It sounds harsh, and I'm kind of being harsh, but I really do think this is honestly the weakest team. Even like girls and chads like that don't have water type and have all these weaknesses. Um, actually, I don't know. Maybe your team is better than uh than we talk to girls, but yeah, I don't know. So let's rank these. I think we talk to girls can go down here. And then we'll have you guys hiding Heracross. Nope, we don't want to do that. At 8. Ooh, at 8. What do we put at 8? I think. Ooh, this is hard. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I didn't even do our team with Storm. Our team, okay, is absolutely perfect in every possible imaginable way. No team can handle Mamoswine. What do you guys do? Like, what do all these teams do against Mamoswine? Show me your Mamoswine Lichen. It doesn't exist. And we got double Trick Room. P2, Slowbro, Mega Maw. Like, GG, guys. GG. And we got Latios, like, what, round 8? And then we have the best Pokemon in Duocean. It's over. Just telling you guys, it's over. That's all I'm going to say for about our team. Um, but anyways, let's actually rank these. At 8, 8 is hard. Because there's definitely some good teams. Let me just look through them one more time. I like this team. Okay. I'm gonna put Blue Destroyers. I'm gonna put you guys at 8. No, I can't. I can't do that. I'm putting Cloysmunster at 8. Not that the team's bad. It's just a little odd. Um and then oh God, it's hard, man. It's really hard. I think I'm going to put oh Lord. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know. Cloysmunster. Okay, you know what? I will put Blue Destroyers here. And I think if you guys got a good fighting type, you'd probably jump way up. Um, and then Stuffuls in Paris. Stuffuls in Paris. Actually, no. We're gonna put what's it called? Teleport Veszprem. Teleport and Leventi. You guys You guys have a good team. It's just not as scary as some of the other ones that were drafted. Like, it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. But I just don't think it's as scary. And I think the Blue Destroyers would have a better draft if they had a good fighting type. Um, okay, we're at 5 now. I think we can put the Eskibros here. Chomp plus screens is really scary, but the other teams, like L2P Lanturn, have so many threats. Um, like Mew plus DNC, Zero Aura, Rillaboom is a lot. Same thing with Stuffuls in Paris. I don't like putting this team this far up, but I feel like you kind of are automatically guaranteed this spot with Mega Lade, Pult, and whatnot. It's a little rougher on the edges though. I don't think it's the most well-rounded team. Um, and then I'm gonna put, you know, myself and Storm at number 2. I really think there's just no weaknesses to our team whatsoever. And we have a good matchup versus everyone. Um, I hope you guys understand sarcasm. And then my favorite team, uh, that I think will do very well, and I think you guys will make it to finals. Like honestly, I don't want to face you guys. This is the number one team I don't want to face is High Jump Miss. And actually, if you guys are unaware, Nalavan and Mulligan, they won last season. Like they won. They literally won the league with a team that I don't think was even as good as this one. Um, so yeah, that's my personal bias. I like High Jump Miss's team. Like this team, man, I love it. Like I love Zorark and all of this. Seriously, I gushed over it when we talked about it initially. It's just oh, I love it so much. Obviously, guys, this is just my power rankings. A lot of personal bias, of course. Um, and this was just sort of for fun. Don't take it too much to heart. I feel like the only thing that really should stick uh with anyone is this team, Blue Destroyers. Like, get a fighting type, man. Get rid of like Audino or Tauros. Tauros is cool, but a fighting type will do you so much better than anything Tauros would offer this team. So yeah, um, we're gonna end it there. I will put timestamps in the description, and I'll also post this in Discord. Copy. So yeah, week 1 starts tomorrow. Have fun, guys.